What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Joey Work, Run Pure Bets. I'm back again. Another Friday. You know what that means. I got another UFC fighter. This week, we got submission specialist Darrick Minner. What's going on, Darrick?
Oh, not too much, man. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. So, first off, congratulations on that latest win over Charles Rosa about 14 days ago, man. What an impressive performance by you. You dominated him the whole fight. You know, I'm pretty sure you got some 30-26s in there. So, tell me a little bit about that fight.
Man, it just went exactly how we thought it was going to. It's great. Get another win. Now I'm 2-1 in the UFC, and yeah, man, I couldn't be happier with the performance. But it just shows that I keep improving, man.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so if we go back to the fight before that versus up and coming young TJ Laramie, I know you were a big underdog going into that fight, and obviously another impressive performance from you. You finished them in the first round. So did you feel disrespected at all going into that fight?
Yeah, I don't. It's not even about getting the respect. It's just like, man, it's all about like how much the odds maker like count out the guys that are coming up from having 30 fights and stuff like that. I definitely felt like I wasn't getting the credit I deserved, which is fine, but to be a plus 350 or whatever was outrageous. Like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And some people were getting 17-1 odds, man, on that first round submission, which is freaking insane. Yeah. Wish I would have seen those odds somewhere, because it probably would have been a lot better for me. So,
yeah, I hear you. So I do know you've been working with James Krause and his whole team at Glory. Tell me a little bit about that experience, how this has made you a better fighter.
Yeah, man, working with the Glory team, obviously it speaks for itself with all the guys coming through, getting wins and cashing as underdogs too, and just the improvements that James Krause has made to my game as, mentally, just my fight IQ, just being smart in there. Slowing down, organizing my game, which is huge. Like he said, I got all the skills in the world, man. We're just organizing it, and that's something I struggled in a long time, and I didn't really have a head coach like James Krause before. I kind of did my own thing. Like I always trained with my coaches, Ryan Jensen and Jose Campos and guys out here, and then I'd go in Omaha, and then I'd go away for camps and stuff, and so it just. I always kind of did my own thing. I'd show up when I wanted, did the practices and all that. James just is improving my game all around, and finally got a head coach that is how do you say it? Like all his worry is about the fight team, and he's got other stuff, but you guys, the fight team comes first, and I just haven't had that before. So
Dark back too. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Sorry about that. I don't exactly know what happened there, but I lost you.
Oh, no worries.
I think it was me. So
yeah, I kept trying to log back in a couple times, and you were frozen there. So
yeah, I saw I froze. It is what it is. Yeah. I appreciate you coming back, though.
Oh, no problem.
You're the man. All right. So I know you were talking about Glory last we talked, but so I know you've been fairly busy your entire career. Do you have a target return date, even a fighter you like to fight next?
Man, I would like probably May, June. If they call me for sooner into April, I'm down. I'll probably be down. I'm always training in the gym. Target opponent, you have to go through them all, right? So probably there's been a lot of talks of Chase Hooper. That's the two guys that are 2-1 in the UFC, and that they we're known for our ground. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, love it. All right, so being with that said, that you've had a lot of fights and whatnot, and you've been working really hard to get to the highest stage. Then you eventually made it to the UFC. What was it like when you got that call for your first fight in the UFC?
The call was weird, man. So I had a show that Saturday that I got the call. So on Tuesday, it would have been 9 days before the fight. It was like Wednesday or Tuesday. I had my main event. The guy pulled off, so we were looking for the hometown guy and opponent. And I was co-promoting a show with my manager. So he calls and he's like, "Hey man," he just talks to me normal. I finally got somebody to take the fight with Niall, and I was telling him what the deal was and all that stuff. So we talked for like a half hour, and then he was like, "Oh yeah," as we're hanging up, he's like, "By the way, we're going to Virginia next week. You're fighting Grant Dawson in the UFC."
Wow.
And I was like, "What? Like you literally?" And he's been with me. Like it's not like some, he's only known me for a couple of years. Like my manager's like one of my best friends, and he booked my second amateur fight out of state. So like I've been with him the whole journey since 2010. So for him to stay calm, but he was like, "Man, if I knew if we didn't get that done and you weren't be able to tell me what was going on, you weren't going to be able to the rest of the week." So yeah, we got that done. And then he told me, and I went and worked out that night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And yeah, man, it was definitely one of the best feelings I've ever experienced in my life. So
Yeah, that's an awesome story to hear. So with that said, I always ask the fighters how they originally got into mixed martial arts. So how did this come about for you?
Well, I always watched when I was in high school, and I'd always watch the UFCs, but I'd always go up and watch my high school friend Anthony Smith fight in the underground circuit in Omaha, like random bars, random places. He was only 17 years old. We'd all go watch him fight, and yeah, man, it was that I always wanted to do it, man. I always wanted to try fighting, and then 2010. I think it was, yeah, I wrestled 1 year in college, 2010. I came back. I was bored, man. And one of my random buddies was like, "Man, I think I'm going to go fight in South Dakota this weekend for this tri-state fighting, cage fighting or whatever." And I was like, "Sweet, let's go." And I was like, he's like, "Who?" I was like, "Who are you going with?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. Let's go." And so it was just me and him. We literally drove up to South Dakota a couple hours, fought. We cornered each other. I wrapped my own hands. Didn't even know what the hell I was doing. Never trained before. Won. And yeah, man, right there, I was right there at that moment, I was like, I'm going to chase this shit to the highest moment I can, and the highest feeling. And now we are here, 50 some fights later. Yeah. So
That's awesome story, dude. That's nice to hear. So I do normally ask every fighter how they got their nickname. I see you do not have a nickname. Is that for a reason? Do you think you'll adopt one or?
man, I don't think I'll ever have a nickname, man. It's not it. My last name, everybody calls me by Minner. I don't really, just never had one, man. I mean, yeah, I just ain't my thing.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so if it's all right with you, we'll run through your thoughts on the three main fights for tomorrow's UFC 259.
Let's do it.
All right, so Jan versus Aljamain Sterling. Peter's back in here after a round 5 stoppage win over Jose Aldo. He won 10 in a row and all 7 of the UFC fights. Out of his 15 wins, 7 by knockout, 1 by sub, and 7 via decision. Up to this point, Peter's basically picked his opponents. Aljo finally gets his much-deserved title fight after rallying off 5 straight wins. Last loss was where he got caught by a knee by Marlon Moraes. Even past that fight, he hasn't lost a single round in the judges' scorecards. I'm interested in the game plan here if he tries the same tactics that he did versus Corey Sandhagen, where he immediately took it to the ground. What do you think about the Bantamweight Championship?
Man, I think I'm gonna go with Aljo on this one. I think he gets the win. I think he gets him down, and yeah, man, I think he's gonna get the sub, or at least a decision. But I think he's gonna end up getting the sub later in the round. So we'll see, man. It's a tough fight to pick.
Yep, absolutely. I like it though. I like the look. All right, so next is Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. The Lioness has been female wrecking ball for the UFC. She's won and easily won almost all of her fights. She's an 11-fight win streak. Doesn't have many viable options past Megan to fight here. Out of her 20 wins, only 4 went to decision. Both of her last 2 fights did go to decision, though. So as for Megan, a huge betting underdog. She demonstrates a new task for Amanda. She has a 4-inch height advantage and 3-inch reach advantage. She's 3-2 overall in the UFC, winner of 2 straight. I personally think she would be smart to try to keep the fight at distance and possibly, end up on top of this fight. But what do you think about the ladies?
Going Megan upset. I mean, she's my teammate. But I also think she possesses a lot of threat. I think she's the first real 145er she's fought. She's tall, she's lanky, she hits hard, she's rangy. I feel like Amanda went to her wrestling in the Duran Duranamy fight, and I feel like that's the only reason she won that fight, because Duran Duranamy was piecing her up on the feet. She was getting the better of her, and it showed that she wasn't untouchable. So I feel like Megan has, if she does get on her, if she does get taken down or anything, I feel like she has better jiu-jitsu and she than Drain, and she can get up, right? I feel like she wins by decision or knock her out in later rounds. But man, the hill's tough to climb, and I just think she gets it done.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so main event is Jan Błachowicz versus Izzy Adesanya. Izzy, kickboxing phenom, wanted a new task to hold 2 belts at the same time, moves up to heavyweight here, take on the Polish Hammer. He's beat everyone in the UFC put in front of him. He's a winner of 9 of all of his UFC fights. He uses quickness, athleticism, move in and out all over the octagon. As for Jan, you got to appreciate this guy. He started the UFC 2-4 overall, and he's 8-1 since, with wins over Dom Reyes, my boy Corey Anderson, Luke Rockhold, Nikita Krylov, Jimmy Manua, and Jared Cannonier. He's very big and diverse for being a heavyweight. 8 wins via KO, 9 via sub, and 10 via decision. How do you see the main event going?
Man, I've been saying Izzy the whole time, like the whole fight. But gosh, for some reason, I keep leaning that Jan's gonna catch him, man, and put him out. I'm gonna go with Izzy with the win, but I will not be surprised if Jan catches him with that Polish power and knocks him out, man. Yeah, dude, I've been with Izzy this whole time, but this last 2 days, I'm like, man, that's like he's gonna be huge in there, you know, and he hits hard, and you know he's not gonna. Is he gonna come up and knock him out? I just don't see that. He's been hit by light heavyweights his whole career, so. I mean, it'll be interesting, man. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I'm going to go with Izzy by decision. I wouldn't be surprised if Jan knocks him out, though.
All right, love it. Well, first off, I want to say thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Is there anything you like to plug, or can you let our followers know where they can find you?
No, man. Just everybody, I appreciate it for the support. Appreciate you having me on. My Instagram is Minner145, and my Twitter is @Darrick Minner. So
Sweet. So, just an FYI, I am sponsored by this hot sauce Bay. I don't know if you're into hot sauce or not, but if
yes,
you are,
sir.
send me your information. I could send you a couple free bottles.
Let's go. All right. I'll get you. Thanks.
Sweet.
Man.
All right. Hey, man, thanks again. I really appreciate your time. We'll definitely be rooting for you in the future.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Well, I mean, shout out Darrick Minner. Really appreciate his time. I know we had a little technical difficulties. I'm pretty sure it's on my end. He's still stuck through, called back in. So you got to appreciate that. I mean, the guy's been, worked really hard to get where he is on the highest stage, and now he's here. He's won 2 in a row in the UFC, so really impressive so far from him, and I'm definitely going to be rooting for him in the future. So make sure to hit that like button for me. I really appreciate that. Hit the subscribe to the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel. If not, go follow me on Twitter if you're not already. I think I'm going to be live tomorrow. We'll be giving out some picks for the entire card. I know Jay will have a video later, either today or tomorrow, for the UFC event as well. So good luck, everybody, on your bets this weekend. Joey, where